What's up, guys, and welcome back to DPL. We have the last best of two of the day. Newbee going up against iG.Vitality, and we'll see who's able to come out on top. I think this is actually the last game of the group stages. So yeah, pretty interesting to see how this is going to shake things up. If it is going to shake it up at all, it's probably better just not worry about that, right? Just worry about the two games we have and see two very high-class teams duke it out with one another. I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for today. It's been a very long all-nighter for me. So far, 6 games. So far, 6, almost 7 hours straight casting. So yeah, a little bit exhausted, but so hopefully we will see something a little bit interesting here in this last best of 2. And we already have something a little bit interesting. Vengeful Spirit banned out first. I mean, that's not really too crazy, I would say, but iG.Vitality grab a Juggernaut, Earth Spirit, and Newbee, they pick up a Magnus. Because it's a Magnus, you do not say no whenever you have a chance to pick up that hero. And you're going to pair it up with an Ember Spirit. And we've seen Ember Spirits as of late go for a very kind of utility-heavy, tank-heavy build. A little bit of magic damage, of course, mixed in there as well. Lots of Blade Mails, Veils, and Shiva's Guards. But with the Magnus, you will be able to do a lot of cleaving damage as well. I don't think Ember Spirit's going to build solely towards that, but as kind of like a backup plan, as a secondary damage dealer, do a lot of work with the Magnus Ember Spirit combo. And for iG.Vitality, you know, they're going to pick up the Juggernaut, the Ember Spirit. Of course, is going to prompt a kind of no-brainer ban of that Shadow Fiend. Got to watch out for TA as well. It's not something that teams are incredibly threatened by, at least not as much as the Shadow Fiend, especially if you have an Ember Spirit already. Even Magnus is much better versus the TA than a Shadow Fiend because she tends to be lower range, therefore making it easier to hit her with RPs and skewers. So yeah, Newbee probably going to let iG.Vitality pick that hero, but iG.Vit in the meantime, taking out the Riki, taking out the Ursa, and oh yes, Nyx. Nyx is still in. I haven't seen Nyx in a very long time because he's always first banned. I don't think he's like as dangerous as a Magnus, but I do think he's worth the ban in general. Riki, Ursa, both being banned out. Monkey King previously banned out, so Newbee, they're roamers. Yeah, I guess you could go for a Treant Protector and have him play a little bit aggressively. That's certainly a possibility for the Newbee side. For iG.Vitality in the meantime, a Rubik seems like a pretty easy pick for them to make. Keeps them very open in their draft. And, well, I mean, you have Lift Up into Spin. Pretty good combo. You have Magnus RP to steal. No, it's going to be a Warlock. That's not a bad hero to have as well. Offensively, doesn't offer quite as much as a Rubik in lane, but is definitely a little bit more of a defensive laner. Pokes at the enemies a lot better, keeps your safe lane alive. I'm not really sure if you need to do that necessarily, expecting the lane to be Warlock, Juggernaut, sometimes Earth Spirit versus Magnus. So, yeah, it does seem like it's a little bit unnecessary for iG.Vitality. Perhaps they figure Rubik is, you know, just too standard. They want to do something a little bit weirder, but in Warlock, at least nowadays, Warlock isn't really that crazy. It's actually pretty standard, I would say. The safe lane of iG.Vit is all shored up. Now just looking at a way for them to deal with this Ember Spirit mid. And Newbee with Ember Spirit already there. Magnus already going to get some pretty serious value out of that in power. They can't get the Juggernaut, obviously. They can't get the Life Stealer. You could always empower Phantom Assassin. That's pretty deadly. Anti-Mage is pretty deadly as well. Usually if you're going to go for an Anti-Mage, you want to wait for a little while longer, scope the field out a little bit, and make sure he's not going to run into any sort of huge counterpick problems. But they also need their supports. Rubik just seems like a generally good hero to have here. A little bit clunky versus the Earth Spirit, perhaps. Not much to do once he gets rolled in on. But yeah, definitely low on those supports for Newbee. Who is looking good here? They can definitely run a safe lane Ember Spirit. We've seen plenty of that. Ooh, Silencer. Not really the best hero to have versus a Juggernaut, but certainly a great hero to have proactively versus a Warlock. Between Silencer and Magnus, Newbee's team fight is going to be absolutely devastating. I'm not saying that iG.Vit don't have a team fight of their own. Warlock Juggernaut is some pretty serious business. CM still in the pool for Newbee if they want to get a secondary support in that. That's not the worst. And iG.Vitality gonna go for a Weaver. Interesting selection there. Juggernaut looking like he's gonna go mid, perhaps. We've seen a couple of off-lane Weavers, not really super common, but iG.Vitality working with a lot of lane flexibility right now. And Newbee, though they do have the global silence, don't really have a ton of easy lockdown to throw around. Slight chains is only okay. RP is very heavy investment. You got to be sure you're gonna land those tools. So yeah, just having an anti-Shikuchi tool, anti-Juggernaut tool, gonna be slightly hard to come by. Just need some of those disables. Wonder where this Weaver's actually gonna go.
10 seconds remaining.
The Juggernaut has a reasonable matchup versus the Ember Spirit in the mid lane, if that is going to be the lane assignments. We've seen Silencers mid, though. We've seen Ember Spirits safe lane, so Newbee can juggle their lanes with the best of them as well. Pretty simple Rubik pick here from Newbee. It's a point-click stun on the Weaver, and just getting that initial stun lets you get the secondary disable of the Skewer, Searing Chains to land. Again, it's not really the best at dealing with the Weaver, but it is something. And Newbee, from the safe lane, it's not Slark. It's Anti-Mage, PA. And melee heroes, you want to prioritize them. There aren't really that many left. I haven't seen a Sven in a long time. I really don't like him all that much, although versus Juggernaut, not a bad pick to have. Spectre, a possibility, not super likely. Can they greed out on an Alchemist? Is that possible here? Put an Ember Spirit safe lane? I don't know if Newbee are going to be willing to do that. Like, it's a possibility for sure, but teams just sometimes just don't do that if they're not comfortable with it. I don't have that much time to decide either way. For iG.Vitality, they're going to be rather slippery. It is the Sven. Yeah, I mean, you get extra cleave, as if that's even necessary. But the big deal of the Sven is that you're dealing up against a very physical, heavy Weaver and Juggernaut. So the bugs, yeah, you're just going to kind of buff that out with your Warcry. Same thing for Omni Slash on the Jug. Kind of an old school Sven a hell of a lot nowadays, but up against these two Weaver Juggernaut, seems like a pretty reasonable pick for Newbee. Get an extra stun on the board as well for that Weaver. So now they have the Hammer, the Telekinesis as kind of like free stuns throw around. Global Silence as the dedicated kill tool. And iG.Vitality for their last pick. Most likely for that off lane. Batten the ban out. Centaur already banned out. Nyx Assassin as well. You're going up against Sven Rubik Silencer. That is not an easy lane to go up against as any off laner. They can just plan on just jungling more so than anything else, and it is probably going to be what it comes down to. Is Omni Knight any good here? He's only kind of average. Offlane Shaker seems reasonable up against the melee heroes, but again, it's not incredible. It's a Bat Rider for iG.Vitality. It is pretty heavy in initiation, but the downside is that he is going to get trounced in lane unless he gets a lot of help. Most likely, iG.Vitality don't want to give the Bat Rider that much help. They're just going to accept the fact that Bat Rider is going to get crushed. I do like how iG.V have now some good way of just point-click disabling Sven, non-negotiable disable. Newbee don't really have much to deal with that except for Global Silence really quickly. I don't know how likely that is. Really is going to depend on ward vision. But yeah, Bat Rider is... I'm not really sure if I'm a huge fan of Bat Rider in this patch. Just seems like he doesn't do nearly enough compared to some of the alternatives. In this particular scenario, pretty much all the alternatives were banned, so there's just kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel here for iG.Vitality. I wonder if Puck could have done the job for iG.Vitality. I wouldn't have minded that. Pretty difficult to kill off that hero with the safe lane that Newbee have. The Batrider can jungle realistically, but that just leaves Sven with free farm, and at least Rubik and Silencer free to do whatever they want. So not really sure about this last pick from iG.V. I mean, the Weaver and Juggernaut power level is high enough so that if they get a good time, they can just carry the game. Dogs, bark the weebs away. Are we in? We are in. So I'm liking Newbee's draft just slightly over iG.Vitality, but you know, Earth Spirit with no Monkey King or Ricky to worry about is going to be certainly a devastating hero, especially when played by dogfights. Got Cicada on the blue Juggernaut super. Support super is on the Warlock. In July is on the Batrider. And, well, we have Paparazzi on the Weaver going bottom. On the other end, KP is on the Magnus. Got SCCC on the Ember Spirit. Definitely a mean player-hero combination there. Faith is on the Silencer. Kaka, in the meantime, handling the Rubik with the Pimp Hat, of course. And U9 is going to be on the Sven. So we'll see what this Earth Spirit's able to accomplish here. It looks like they want to take an aggressive walkabout the enemy jungle. The line is drawn. They want to crash this Boundary Rune party. Now, Warlock's not really the greatest hero here. Juggernaut kind of is. And the Sven may just not see this one coming. This isn't a very common move in general. They need a good angle. Dogfights, rolls in, connects with the slow. And now the Napalm going to start to add up. Stun only onto the Juggernaut. That's going to keep the main damage source away from U9. Still, they'll land a lot of Napalm. Telekinesis is there, and they'll keep U9 safe. Cicada got close enough, I think, for a spin. Just a little bit hesitant on that one. Dogfight's once again going to roll in, but this is actually going to cost him a lot of HP. Just with the right clicks going back his way. Looks like we will get a 3 Bounty Runes for the Radiant. I don't think the Dire can get to this one in time, so that move isn't going to get them any kills or anything like that, but still it is going to be getting them a little bit of extra cash. Juggernaut versus the Ember Spirit, not really a matchup we see all that often. Should be just fine for both sides. Ember Spirit is rather impervious to the spin. Of course, once Flame Guard gets a little bit higher than level 1. Over towards the bottom lane, KP going up against the Weaver. Should be just fine for both sides. Weaver is going to have a slight edge here, but nothing that KP can't handle with the Magnus. And then, of course, in the 3v3 lane, all eyes on top. It's going to be Batrider, who needs to get at least Firefly if he's going to do anything useful here. Sven, in the meantime, with a couple of ranged heroes, can very easily kill off Batrider. Speaking of Telekinesis, dragging him in. The heal is on in July, but it's not nearly enough. And U9 is going to get the last hit in. That's first blood for the Sven. That's some int stolen for the Silencer. And we can see how easy that was. Like, they barely did anything. They just spent their mana and right-clicked. No finesse, no nothing. They just all walked up as a team. That's the dream, right? Do nothing, get kills. Earth Spirit's going to bail out of there in the meantime. If you roll into SCC, you will be able to get a pretty full duration spin-off. That was pathetic. What was that? I'm not really sure what that was about. I'm pretty sure you could just walk that distance, but sometimes you just gotta roll places. Once this level 2 guard comes up, it'll absorb the vast majority of the spin. Despite how much damage spin does, guard is scales up pretty darn well. Here I'm worried about most is KP, actually. Like, there's not much he can do to return fire substantially towards Paparazzi. He's going to shrine rather early. Paparazzi is going to have a free roll in this lane. Oh no. Take 2 up towards top. Prepare to get dumber. Maybe not this time. They do fall short. No, the Fade Bolt's there. And they'll get a little bit of extra int for Faith. A little bit extra gold for the crew top. And Batrider is going to show off why he is not the strongest hero in a full 3-on-3 fight fest. The way you play Batrider is you spam Napalm, you get the CS with that. And of course, by spamming Napalm, you fill Magic Stick charges. Only 2 so far I would expect Faith to get his as soon as he can afford it. But yeah, the napalm you use is going to be fueling the hammers, fueling the telekinesis and fade bolts. And it'll just be taking you down faster. So yeah, rough times for the Batrider. I think it's time for him to abandon ship. I'm not sure if dogfights and super can really stay up here either. The Batrider is actually fairly bulky for an int hero. The Earth Spirit perhaps a little bit more durable with the rollout especially. But if you just wait for him to start rolling as Kaka and then telekinesis once the animation starts, essentially nullify his only way of escape, and yeah, he's not exactly super fast either. Ooh, Paparazzi. Trading some serious hits with KP, and now KP with an Invis rune. Paparazzi is going to bottle up. He has 8 stick charges, he's fine. Still, KP with an Invis rune, level 4 versus level 4 Weaver. Again, the lane is pretty much as even as you could expect. Just last hit, man. But this top lane is a problem. In July, dogfights, they're going to roll in towards Kaka. Grab the bounty rune at the very least. Napalm's starting to stack up. No Firefly, though. You know, if they try to go for this kill, they may get it, but they will probably lose a hero in exchange, and that costs them intelligence. Not a good time. In July, will Firefly... Tiny stack. Very small. Not even get all the CS. That feels pretty bad. Faith and Kaka just messing with In July. Wow. Not much cash here for the Batrider. That stings. KP? Ooh, he almost intercepted that courier. Totally accidentally, but yeah, it was almost there. U9's having the time of his life. 2 kill participations. He's going to get rolled into, though. His backup is a little bit far away. Lands a nice 2-man hammer. He's going to get kicked in the face. That will also stun up the silencer, but the telekinesis is there. U9 will get some distance away. Has a salve. Has a lot of stick charges as well. The Batrider is going to take a hefty beating from that one. Yeah, U9 will be just fine. Stuck in the trees. Not an ideal spot for any given hero, but they have another telekinesis in 5. Dogfights is not exactly tanky right now. If they have a hammer and they do with the stick charges, they can kill him off if he gets too close to the creep wave, and there it is. Lift him up into a hammer. It's only a level 1 bolt. Still, the right clicks will have to stick. He has a roll out, maybe. Lands a nice kick. Dogfights will get away. No. Kaka sneaks in the last hit from a million miles away and gets the kill. Wow, okay. It's not stolen by the silencer, but still, it's a free kill for this top lane of Newbee. Did not see the green blob fly. Very small effect. KP and Paparazzi still trading evenly. Although once RP comes up, Paparazzi's got to watch himself. He already used time lapse. He's taking a lot more damage than I really expected. Shockwave spam does add up. And Magic Wand up against Magnus is not exactly crazy. It's an okay value for a Weaver, but Weavers sometimes just go so hard in the value they skip boots. Going for a Magic Wand over Stick, it's kind of a steep investment, honestly, for a Weaver. The mid lane's still almost exactly even. But we do have SC with some Fire Remnants looking around the map. It's going to set up for maybe a jump in on Super. A Warlock who does have Raindrop, but no mana. He is very clearly a potential target here for Newbee if they want to jump in on it. I think they probably can. They're just waiting for the Sven to push up the wave a little bit more. And Super is pretty screwed. Double TPs are coming in, but the triple jump in not going to be enough. The Raindrop holds. It'll be driven away. I mean, it's not going to cost Newbee all that much. I don't think they could actually catch up to any of these heroes. There's an Omni Slash for Zakata. That'll bounce between a couple heroes that probably won't get any kills. Although it would be Arcane Rune. It's kind of nice. Yeah, unsuccessful rotation from SC. Not quite enough to kill off a Warlock. Again, one of the tankier intelligence heroes. along with the Ogre Magi, Batrider, Darkseer. Kata's still up here. He's gonna try to go for this tower. U9 is off lane. The supports can't really do too much to stop this. If they try, they're gonna get run down and omni-slashed. Looks like iG.V's rotation, if it is just gonna be two supports staying up here for Newbee, is gonna get them a tower. And it's not gonna be just the two supports, it's SC. With an Invis rune even, so omni-slash will do very little. I have a feeling this Weaver might be in a little bit of trouble. Paparazzi will dodge the first shockwave. Actually, did that hit him? Looks like it actually might have. KP does have a skewer RP and another shockwave. So Paparazzi's got to play this lane very carefully. KP even has that arcane boot, so he's able to spam this out. And gets touched. Paparazzi's got to watch out here. This is pretty dangerous. Will dodge away with the time lapse. Looking to go back in on KP, but he's playing this very fast and loose. Here comes the skewer. No RP, though. No vision means that even if you land the RP, which does like 50 damage, you can't actually follow up. This is a very delicate game on this bottom lane, though. Paparazzi is special fire. If he gets hit with an RP, it's pretty much all over for him. But up towards top lane, we got Invis on SC. He's going to give this lane to Kaka, get that spell steal up and running. And U9 in the meantime, just jungling. Refilling KP's bottle. Gonna get a little bit of empower action going for him. Giving the lane to his supports and SC, of course. Does feel like Newbee are getting slightly more across the map than iG.Vitality. Not to any huge degree, but just a slight lead in efficiency. I mean, mostly it's because of U9's jungling. Empower plus cleave. I think he's going to be cleaving for enough. And with the Morbid Mask here, yeah, his sustain with the power treads as well as the clearing from the Quelling Blade should be just fine to go into pretty much whatever camp he wants and clear that out, no problem. No one from iG.Vitality is really finding a chance to aggro him either. I mean, Earth Spirit's camping out the mid lane. Not really super active on this hero. Again, rolling in towards an Ember Spirit mid. First of all, it would be obvious if you're missing off the top lane. Second of all, probably won't even get the kill. We do have Ember Spirit, though, and Kaka. Both smoked up, both with the target painted. Rolling towards Kaka is a slow one, but still gets him a little bit closer. SC looking for the chains, will lash down that Batrider and bring him down. Faith, a little bit smarter, will get hit with the Omni Slash Sakata. Can't quite connect with the spin, but still will end up bringing down Faith. Still a reasonable trade for Newbee. Keeping this Batrider underfarmed is very important. Plus they get intelligence in the end, so permanent bonuses. Everyone and their mom rotating up towards top lane, though. Kick, gonna land onto SC. He's gonna silence the Rubik as well, but SC still just turning around and dicing up the Weaver. Kaka, he has not stolen anything useful. He'll get killed off by Sakata, but SC is still not being dealt with. Will just slash down another. Chains at a 2 won't quite save him. Faith is here. Can he right-click down dogfights? Support battles will get him more intelligence. And Newbee come away with a huge lead off of that engagement. I mean, numerically, whatever. Gold-wise, it doesn't seem like it's going to be quite as big just in the fight. But let's say the gold and experience exchange was even. That's also with intelligence being stolen by Faith. That's with KP pushing mid. That's with U9 pushing bot. And he took down a tower. Disgusting amount of lead being gained there by Newbee. And iG.Vitality spent their entire time with their entire team up on that top lane. This is going to make it a little bit better, killing off Faith. Rip Faith. He has no TP, he's super screwed. But Newbee only did that with 3 heroes. That's the ridiculous part. That's all they needed. That's just Blink Dagger farm for the Magnus. Sven, Mask of Madness, ready to slash things up. With the God Strength available as well. Or, you know, most of the time available. Just SC doing some serious damage. With a couple of low damage supports. The dream. Paparazzi's got to watch out. There's a sentry ward here. He should know about it. Dog fights in the meantime. Observer looking for a Magnus. But U9 is still getting a lot of farm. It's a concerning amount of farm for iG.Vitality. Especially with the Batrider so underfarmed. Oh, they're going to jump in, find Paparazzi. Shikuchi's there from Kaka. Paparazzi, one more shot is all they need. Got him with the Fade Bolt. Kaka's fine. SC, both low, but fine. And now over towards the mid lane. TPs are coming in. Silence goes off onto the Magnus. Warlock going to drop his rock onto 2. Not bad, but the global silence is there. So there's not going to be that much follow-up. KP still alive. He's going to skewer up to the north. And he's going to get some help from U9. A little bit extra armor from the Warcry. Kick is going to be dodged by U9 and KP both. Omni Slash coming in. RP is going to slow down the jug. KP still will go down, though. The backup coming in a little bit too slowly from the back. Shadow Word stolen by Rubik, not this ultimate of the Warlock. They will invest the God Strength to get 100 gold for U9. Not bad. But SC, even with the travel, is not able to get in there. Not willing to get in there. iG.Vitality spend absolutely everything to get a Magnus kill. It's not the worst investment in the world, but you kind of expect a little bit more when you drop a rock. Newbee. Their silencers in a pretty rough spot right now. We'll TP out. They're going to have a Blink Dagger Magnus, though. Level 11. Incredible amount of experience on this mag. And in a 1v1 matchup, it's to be expected. It's the Juggernaut. He has a Diffusal Blade, which is kind of nice. Get rid of that Warcry buff. Make that Omni Slash stick a little bit harder. But the thing is that he's the only one getting any sort of farm here. Weaver's had a surprisingly tough time accruing farm and relevant gold. He's only 200 behind the enemy Magnus, but should be at least perfectly even. Should have an advantage, honestly. A couple of deaths to his name, certainly adding up. Hand of Midas. I don't know if I like where Hand of Midas is in Dota right now. I kind of want Hand of Midas to be not viable unless it's a first pick item. That's where I want it to be. But I think that's just wishful thinking on my part. Here comes the smoke. They're going to smoke straight down towards bottom. KP, I don't know if he's been shockwaving it. But this lane is a perfect lane for a Juggernaut to farm. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Actually, no one going towards there at all. They will run into Super, see him with the Observe Ward. SC, gonna charge in first, slashes down the Earth Spirit. Nice kick onto 3 though. Gonna stymie the incoming of U9 at the very least. Global Silence does go out. SC is gonna double jump away. Here comes U9 with the cleaves, is gonna grab one in the Juggernaut, gets a rock dropped on him, lassoed up as well. He'll be abandoned by his teammates and will fall. Roll in now from Dogfights, gonna kick, cancel the TP, silence up the Ember Spirit as well. And they will take down the Rubik and SC both. As Newbee overcommit. RP still up on KP, but just with him and Faith, they can't do anything. They should make it out alive, although Faith being chased down by a Weaver is going to get bugged. Grabs a Bounty Rune, and he has some backup coming in the form of KP. Blink RP into Skewer into Tower. Nah, it's not going to happen. They'll also lose a Silencer. A 4 for 1 after all is said and done in favor of iG.Vitality. Magnus not able to get in. It was really just that quick kick from the Earth Spirit there. If he, well, no, maybe half the kick and half the Ember Spirit kind of blind chaining into the jungle. They all lined up for that kick, and if you're all stunned like that, you're not doing a lot of damage. If that was Rubik to just walk in and telekinesis the Earth Spirit, that could have been so different, but stopping the Sven from doing his damage, stopping everyone from Newbee from approaching, actually, a big deal. See how much damage U9 is able to put out. That was also a very late Global Silence from Faith. Usually you want to stop the Warlock and the Batrider from casting their ultimates. And, well, it didn't do either of those things. It was Lasso, Chaotic Offering, Global Silence in that order. Feels pretty bad, man. Wow, thank you, IO.Me, for telling us that the Batrider has a shiny new Blink Dagger, SC, silenced, and lassoed, and Omni Slashed. Whew, baby, he's super dead. Wow, that was fancy. The Juggernaut and the Weaver starting to close in on that Sven. That team fight for iG.V doing a lot for them. So far, we've seen KP do a whole lot of nothing. And Midas will not change that. Really just needs a clear line of sight for an RP. Get one of those and Sven is just going to go ham, but until that happens, iG.Vitality working with slightly better, I think, fight performance. Roshan down, Aegis for Cicada. Yeah, this guy is pretty fat right now. Diffusal Blades working in towards some Manta style action. Getting rid of that Global Silence. Very easy for Cicada at that point. KP has a Blink Skewer. At this point, you kind of just want to Blink RP onto just Cicada. Kaka will just lift him up. Healing Ward, it's a pretty good one to have. KP so far has just been a steroid tool for U9. Which is, sometimes what Mag is just relegated to. But when you have a Mag with a free lane, you kind of want him to do a little bit more than just be an empower machine. He'll have a Midas, so you'll have a couple more options later. But they put a lot of their eggs, Newbee, into this U9 basket. Summer Spirit is gonna stick to his guns in the talent tree department. I wonder if he's gonna build any physical right-click damage. I mean, with the Empower, it does make it a little more attractive to go for the old-school crit cleave. Maybe not like all in on that, but a little bit maybe. They're going to CSC, force out a spin from Cicada. Silence goes off onto the Sven. Now Global Silence is there. Slows down any sort of counterplay. They will close in onto the Earth Spirit, bring him down pretty quickly. The Warlock Golem does drop in the end. And an RP onto absolutely everyone. Now Unai's going to cleave through all of them. Oh my lord, KP found his opening, and now Cicada has just got to try to spin away, purges U9, but you can't stop all of them. Another hammer to land, more intelligence for Faith, and that is going to be the fight that Newbee wanted. Global Silence to knock out the Earth Spirit, and then KP just getting into the perfect spot to land an amazing RP. It actually doesn't get better than that. Absolutely ridiculous. And if ever you have a Sven who's able to sit there and just right-click things into cleave damage with Empower, things are going to be dying. They're going to be dying mighty quick. iG.Vitality running into an absolute brick wall of Newbee heroes. Replicating that fight is tough. KP had perfect positioning in that one, and iG.V couldn't get anyone on top of him to pressure that Blink Dagger at all. They will jump in, lasso, and probably deal with Kaka fairly swiftly. Yeah, he's dead. So they get a return kill. Not nearly good enough to counterbalance what just happened, though. That was pretty gruesome. Midas into a quick 1,000 gold on the Magnus. Faith, 18 intelligence swing so far. And the Sven with the BKB. And there's still Lasso and Chaotic Offering to go through that. But the Earth Spirit is kind of dead. The spin doesn't do anything. Warlock does a lot less versus U9. He is very, very fast right now with the Sanjinyasha and the Mask of Madness. He's able to stick on you pretty easily. And with the Magnus, ideally, he won't even have to try that hard. Global Silence up. RP soon to be up. And hey, an Arcane Rune. Magnus loves some RPs with Arcane Runes. Especially once Force Staff comes up. Slide around for those RPs. Easy game. On the iG.Vitality side, they have a Blink Dagger Force Staff on Batrider. But again, executing properly up against the Silencer is really, really tough. And that last fight was a situation where they did get jumped on kind of out of the blue. So they were not quite prepared for it. We'll see if iG.V are able to put together a Batrider initiation, a classic one. And just pull someone into a Juggernaut, kill them off, and hopefully for their sake, Newbee are unable to respond. U9 only presenting himself right now. Will get grabbed, but Kaka's immediately there. He was waiting for that the entire time. Still, U9's going to take a lot of damage. Global Silence does go off as U9's going to pop the BKB, and with an RP on 2, cleave through the 2 carries of iG.V. That's going to be yet another slaughter in favor of Newbee. Global Silence RP used once again. They're going to chase forward for a little bit more dogfights. His roll is going to be canceled by SC. Coming in from the back. The jumps are going to miss, but who cares? Still got a kill. 3-0 in favor of Newbee. U9 tanking up absolutely everything. I mean, the Rubik response was absolutely perfect. The fact that you're trying to go for a Sven with the Warcry on him is kind of tough when it's just a Bat Rider and a Warlock. Chaotic Offering is great and everything, but the Golem does a lot less when the enemy has a million armor from this Warcry. Newbee once again getting another huge fight. And that's kind of problematic for iG.Vitality. They got smashed in a fight where they got jumped on. They did the jumping. The only thing they have to do is hope that next time they can catch KP or catch Faith, or ideally catch them both. But as long as these heroes are getting farm, as long as Silencer is building up with this bulk that he has, Shadow Amulet, next item. The Mag should have a Force Staff. He does, and he's gonna go for a Shadow Blade. He's gonna go full initiation style. Catching him is going to be damn near impossible. And that majority of the fight was also without SC. Like, he didn't come until the very end. They're going to look for Kaka, grab him with the lasso, and with only Silencer in the area, it'll once again be Newbee losing a support in exchange for their great team fight. I'm pretty sure they're going to be okay with that. U9, Blink Dagger, BKB, Mask of Madness, SNY, Jeebus. Guy's absolutely loaded. Ember Spirit as well. Cleave, even if you're not getting a lot of damage items, still gives you more damage and lets you cleave, period. So SC's farm rate is actually pretty fast. Oh, you will expend an RP for a Weaver if you could see him. I think Paparazzi may have caught a glimpse though. Oh, I think he sees him. I think his mate might have saw me. Yes, he did. Well, KP will dodge the rock, but still will get picked off. Awkward. A much needed kill for iG.Vitality on the Magnus. Another Diffusal Blade up on the team. More ways of getting rid of that that Warcry buff, and the Empower, of course, and slow them down, obviously. And just a nice cost-effective damage tool for agility heroes. Still, though, in a heads-up fight, if they do get stunned by anything, Rubik, an RP, U9 is going to make short work of them. Especially once this AC comes in, as if he even needs the extra attack speed with the Mask of Madness and SNY. Hyperstone now up. SC jumped in on, but oh, eats it with the Lincoln Spear. Gets debated, and now the Global Silence is there. Unai's going to go to town on dogfights. They're looking for more. SC off to the side, wants Injuly. Canceling the Blink Dagger. Lashes him down, lets U9 close in, claws him apart in the side, though. They drop the Warlock Rock onto the Rubik Faith. Also isolated, needs some help from the heavies. Here they come, it's SC first. Is going to take a lot of damage from the Omni Slash, but will jump away. KP still has that Omni Slash. It'll be U9 absorbing Cicada's spin, no big deal here. Blink forward RP, make sure the spin doesn't go anywhere. U9's God Strength has run out, but it doesn't seem like it really matters. They will take down the Jug, and now cleave through onto U9. From U9 onto Paparazzi. Will get purged off his armor buff. U9 needs to hit something to kill them. Can't do it. Needed the sustain. And it will be iG.Vitality to separate the fight. That was Newbee chasing really far away from the main fight to get a Bat Rider over here, where people were dying over here, and SC kind of going in by himself. By the way, gotta hit people to cleave them, to kill them. Write that down, guys. It's important. Put it on the fridge. Newbee separating a little bit too far. The supports really need to stay within the cover of their really heavy-hitting allies. Magnus arrived really late to that party as well. RP only on a spinning Juggernaut. For the most part, Sven's God Strength used it to kill off a Bat Rider and an Earth Spirit, and really just wasted a lot of time walking around. If iG.Vitality can replicate that, they'll be in a good spot, but I'm not really sure how possible that is. Over in mid, Kaka. Very confident with that Shikuchi. Running on pace with the Haste Rune, which is going to end up grabbing Faith. I'm not really sure. Oh, they don't have detection. Faith is going to get slaughtered. No response. U9's still dead. KP-RP still down. Just a matter of time, though. KP is 30 seconds off until his RP. U9 is back. I don't think iG.V can go for this Roche. They still don't really have the best responses to Kaka. There is a sentry here, but no one's here to give them regular vision. Warlock Rock still off for 40. Kaka is going to get spotted right on the edge. Here comes U9. Once again, looking for the Earth Spirit, but gets purged up immediately. He needs an RP so he can actually hit things, but KP can't find it yet. 1 second. Now it's available. RP onto 2. God Strength is starting to run out, though. SC is going to close in. Not do all that much damage, though, and U9 struggling to find a target. Once again, he's going to get kited and killed off. SC and Faith, the only survivors, and SC even all that hot. Bugs coming in will give them some tracking vision so that Paparazzi can chase for the kill. Not quite. SC gets away thanks to the Glimmer Cape of Faith. But this Sven is being kited so hard. That was, I believe, the Bat Rider's Force Staff, which prevented the Sven from killing off that Earth Spirit. Someone's Force Staff. I think the only Force Staff on the team. So yeah, it must have been Bat Rider, obviously. iG.V get an Aegis. They get another big win. They get another kill on U9. And they do all of that without using the Warlock ultimate. iG.V are starting to take these fights pretty convincingly, but again, these fights for Newbee are fights where the Sven and the Magnus are not working perfectly together. An RP on 2 with the Sven actually able to use his God Strength, that can very, very quickly put an end to some of these iG.V heroes, but that just hasn't really happened since that top lane engagement. Bat Rider sees Kaka. Silenced. He still gets the Shikuchi off. Kick blind. They still see him, but they can't quite catch up before he blinks out. Would have been a shame. A kill on Rubik would have opened up high ground, but let's just take a tier 2 and be happy with that. Now Bat Rider with the Yule Scepter has a tool to get rid of that Lincoln Sphere on the Ember. Kind of a throwaway point target spell. And still it also gets rid of Global Silence on him, so yeah, the Yule Scepter does a hell of a lot here for in July. Now for iG.V, they do take a couple of great fights in a row. But going up high ground up against a Sven and a Magnus, and the split push from an Ember Spirit, really, really difficult. Like, it's so much easier to land that RP God Strength combo if you're just working with enemies in a funnel. So Newbee will have that to bank on. Perhaps the Bat Rider still will be able to get those initiations off. Not the easiest thing in the world, but they're still going to go in for a smoke up towards top. It is Kaka with Shink. A tough kill, especially if he just straight leaves right now, and he's going to. Bye, Kaka. No one else here. There's still a gem here for in July. So just using the smoke to get vision, it's not all that bad. Using it to grab U9, pretty good as well, but blinks out. And these double diffusal blades are actually doing some serious work. Can't catch up to your targets if you're purged. Smoke now from Newbee. The element of surprise will really help them land that God Strength, but doesn't seem like anyone from iG.V is going to be in the area to hit. The smoke is going to be mostly wasted here from Newbee. Roche not an option. Warlock. Wow, look at this build. It's going to go Guardian Greaves after Midas and a Solar Crest. Oh my god, he's level 19. Jeez, I mean, he has the experience, talent. Super's actually kind of been surviving. He's 6, 1, and 8. That's actually a disgusting score on a Warlock. Usually it's like, you know, 1, 6, and 8. Something like that. But now level 20, respawn time there. Pretty sure you give the golems armor. I'm not actually sure. It's not really super strong either way. But he is an extraordinarily high-leveled Warlock. And I can only expect that at a certain point he's going to go for the Ags and or Refresher. Probably after this Guardian Greaves. I mean, hey, he's so rich he can go for whatever he wants, right? In July, blinked on by U9. Oof. Cicada still has this Aegis. Not sure if iG.V can find an opportunity to tap at the high ground. Or even a tier 2. They should try to go for a tier 2. We're gonna smoke up and try to do it that way. I think they could just walk into a tier 2. You only have to commit to Weaver. Honestly, just have Bat Rider, Earth Spirit off in the wings, and they're gonna do exactly that. Ain't that something? Weaver's gonna tap away at the tower. KP really doesn't want to expend an RP on 1. He will go invis. He will expend the RP on 1. They need to bring him down. If they can't, that'll be a disaster. They use the Global Silence, and they do bring down them a lot. RP and Global Silence. They find another, though. On the Earth Spirit, he will Yules himself. I don't like his odds of survival, though. 2 kills, with Global Silence still up. Kaka looking for super, no telekinesis. Looking for Cicada. Found him. This time does have a telekinesis, but no backup. Lift up. He can steal spin. He's going to try to bait a Omni Slash because he knows he has Shikuchi, but gets bashed because there's a gem on Injuly. Get you baited. Jump in from KP blind. Gonna miss the skewer, but here comes U9 with the cleave damage. There goes a Bat Rider. And the rest of the Newbee side coming in a little bit too late to help. So iG.V getting their Weaver isolated a little bit too far out. End up losing a lot there. U9's God Strength, you know, kind of mediocre, but still at this point with the AC up, doing quite a lot of damage even with that, even without using God Strength. Kata, gonna pick a fight with U9. Dogfights is here to help out, but everyone else from Newbee is also here. Jumping from SC towards the back lines with the Maelstrom and the Blade Mail. You can't really fight back. You just have to accept it. You do a lot of damage, but not find any kills. Jump out of there just fine.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Maelstrom, Mjolnir. Ember Spirit's still sticking to his you know, magic damage based build, but you know, it is a little bit mixed into physical with this Maelstrom Mjolnir build. It's not going like all the way into the Veil. I actually really didn't like it when Veil Ember Spirit was like the thing to do, like the only thing to do. People would just always get Veil. I do feel like you need a kind of a reason to. Oh, Weaver is gonna get chunked down huge by SC. Paparazzi still spotted by the gem. Gonna lose Shikuchi to the Rubik. Jump in. They do still see him. Can SC do enough damage here? It's gonna be kind of close. Paparazzi can be chased down by Kaka. The race is on, except it's not really a race because Paparazzi is just dead. Global Silence elsewhere. In the meantime, they found the Bat Rider. U9's gonna cleave through him. It will lift up the Sven, but the RP still lands. Now the cleaves onto 2. It's a triple kill for U9. A little bit delayed, perhaps, but hey, it's a God Strength. It's an RP. What more can you ask from your Sven and Magnus? With, of course, that Weaver chase on bottom. Newbee, clean house on 4. What a gold. 2,600 plus a tower at least. No, they're going to give up on the tower. They could have gotten both, honestly, but, you know, they want the big prize. KP just looking for a skewer, threatening it. U9 going to work. Buyback, not on the Juggernaut, crucially. Means that even if they bought back on Bat and Weaver, they could not fight this. KP? No way. No way. Okay, I was like, is he really going to try to skewer the fountain? That would be pretty baller. He's thinking about it. KP having some fun. The rest of the team in the meantime playing super serious Dota. It's going to go up towards top lanes since he can't kill off mid. They're going to jump in with the chaotic offering and the lasso. Grab the Sven, but there's not enough damage going into him to actually bring him down before he pops up BKB. And now he's going to turn around, look for dogfights, throws a hammer, decides to bail out instead. BKB and then run away. Sakata with the Shikuchi is going to get very far away. Faith looking for a gem. Will probably end up just dying here. Kaka with the Shikuchi getting a lot of distance. Sakata's going to teleport in to cut him off, but TP out from Kaka will stick. Super will take down Faith in the meantime. Everyone else from Newbee will slip out. The damage has been done. 1.5 sets of Raxes here. As iG.V are hoping to catch someone foolishly sticking around. No mag, no silencer. Take a third and you can poke at high ground, but no third here. They're still in a really good position to push, honestly. Just lost Rax's top with a chance to equalize, but with no chaotic offering, no lasso just yet. Not really sure how they're able to put that together up against SC and U9, who are going to prep in straight for the Juggernaut. The damage is huge. Sakata not dead just yet. U9 not doing enough. Will eventually get the kill, though. And off on the side, it's a lasso onto the Ember Spirit. No damage onto him. Paparazzi takes a hammer to the dome. He'll go down. Ember Spirit chasing after with the Sven onto the earth. And he is going to blink out of there with his own Yule Scepter. Roll out again. He has no TP, so good luck. Oh, SC with the reeds. Jumps right in front of him. And gets the Earth Spirit killed off as well. No mag. No problem. At the end of the day, Telekinesis and Stormhammer are going to be enough. They'll find in July. Kaka wants in, but he doesn't have Shikuchi. He has Healing Ward. They're still going in. Just follow the fire brick road, right? There is a silencer coming from the side. Not able to cancel a blink, though. Crackback is going to get them a tier 2 tower at least. This time there is no Weaver, Juggernaut, no buybacks on either. There is a approximate 0% chance that a Batrider and Warlock can hold this off. So this tier 2 is dead for sure. Tier 3 not looking too hot either. U9 has God Strength. It's time to go Super Saiyan. Arrgh, push down the towers. Puny towers. This is going to be a tower. Jump in. Lasso is pretty good, but the skewer is going to bring them all back in. KP with the reeds, and it's going to be another absolute evisceration of iG.V. Destruction in the mid lane, and up towards top. Oh, nice lasso, bro. KP just put a brick wall right in front of a Newbee. Come ahead with the win. After another great combo from the Mag and the Sven. They worked really well together in this game. Gotta be honest, guys. One more game, though, on the day. We'll see if iG.V are able to tie it up or Newbee will be able to 2-0 in the last group stage match of DPL. I'm Mike Loris, and I'll be back in just a little bit.